It's time for the World Endurance Championship to get back underway. Let's talk about the Qatar 1812 kilometers. In this video, I'm going to run through the timings and the scheduling because it's also managed to catch me out. And then we're going to be talking about what to expect, a bit of a recap of last year's event. We might even get to have a chat about things like the BoP. So, firstly, the timings. We're going to go through it in local time first of all. And it goes as follows. On the Wednesday at 11:30 local time and at just before 5 o'clock local time, you have FP1 and FP2. On the Thursday at midday local time, you have FP3. Qualifying starts at 5 p.m. local time. LMGT3 qualifying in Hyperpole. Then the Hypercar qualifying in Hyperpole. With the race starting at 2 p.m. local time on February 28th. Which means it runs as February crosses into March. In the UK, in Greenwich Mean Time, that means that Free Practice 1 starts at 8:30 a.m., FP2 at 1:50 p.m., then FP3 on the 27th at 9 a.m., 2 p.m. UK time on the 27th for qualifying, with the race starting at 11 a.m. on the 28th. Which means that I actually do get enough time to sit down, properly watch it and review it over the course of Saturday before my regular 5 p.m. release window. Which is part of why this video is not at 5 p.m. and why it's such an early release. I want to get it out in time for the start of free practice. If you do enjoy it, please do leave a like. If you have any thoughts, do let them be known in the comment section down below. And if you want to stick around for this and other series I follow, as well as some sim racing content, hit subscribe and hit the bell because you get at least one video every single day. Sometimes you get live streams and shorts as well to back that up. In terms of what to expect, this is a race that has a distance and time associated with it. Most WEC rounds have time associated with them. In this case, it is a 10-hour race. But it does have a distance, the 1812 kilometers. That refers to December the 18th, which is National Independence Day in Qatar. So it's something that is supposed to make it a unique race. Now, last year, that did get met. You managed to do the 1815 kilometers, which is the lap after 1812, in just under the 10 hours. But if we have a couple of safety cars, that could full well be different this time around. And while we're at it, let's have a bit of a chat about last year's one, because it was one that went really well for Porsche. The 5 got pole and the 6 won the race in the end. I think the 6 started down in 5th place. The podium rounded out by Haas Team Jota at a 963 as well. And yeah, then 3rd place was the number 5. So it was an all Porsche podium. Now, Jota has switched over to the Cadillac this year. We'll talk a little bit through the changes and things to look out for in a moment. But after them was the 83 AF Corsa Ferrari, that's the privateer one, the number 7 Toyota, and then the 50 Ferrari. In LMGT3, it was the Manthey Pure Racing 992 Porsche GT3 that took the class win, ahead of the Heart of Racing's Aston Martins. Oh, sorry, their Aston Martin, and then a D-Station one, so the 2 Aston Martins were 2nd and 3rd. And the Heart of Racing are going to be a team to look out for at this time, because let's talk about the changes in terms of the lineup and the roster for WEC in 2025. The Heart of Racing have brought 2 Valkyries to WEC. The 007 will be driven by an all-British crew of Tom Gamble, Ross Gunn and Harry Tinknell, with the 009 Roman DeAngelis, Alex Riberas and Marco Sorensen. That is an all-new lineup, and it replaces 2 hypercars that we lost at the end of last year, or over the course of last year in the case of the Alberto Frascini, but also Lamborghini have left the series because WEC has said if you're a manufacturer team, you have to have 2 cars, and Lamborghini only wanted to enter 1. As a result, we have also lost Lamborghini from LMGT3, which has been replaced by Mercedes coming in. Iron Lynx will be running Merck's, the Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo, with the 60 and 61 this year, while the Iron Dames will be the second 911 entry alongside the Manthey entry. Other changes to look out for, yeah, Jota have switched over from Porsche to being the Works Cadillac team, as Cadillac themselves have, well, had a bit of a shake-up in terms of who's running their cars. So Hardest Team Jota will be the Cadillac Works team this year with their 2-car lineup. And there have been a few shufflings around in the driver lineups as well. Porsche, for example, have shuffled around their drivers after, for instance, we saw Andre Lotterer end up leaving Porsche. He's over with Genesis now, who will be coming in a couple of years' time. And lastly, let's talk about the BoP. Balanced performance is how in the World Endurance Championship they make sure that everything is quite evenly spread out. Only Endurance on Twitter have posted a BoP table for the year, which essentially breaks down where everything was at last time out in Bahrain and where it's being calculated for this time around. Toyota will be gaining 4 kilowatts of power and 1 megajoule of energy. The energy is essentially a stint limiter because it's a calculation not necessarily in terms of energy used by the hybrid, but it also factors in things like fuel. Porsche 963 has had 8 kilos added onto it. It's lost 6 kilowatts of power and lost 2 megajoules of energy. The Alpine has lost 3 kilos. Seems to have had a bit of a gain in terms of power after 250 clicks, and will also have lost 4 megajoules. Valkyrie, it's not been necessarily bopped in terms of an increase or decrease because, well, it's new. But in terms of weight, it sits in the middle of the pack, more or less. The BMW has also lost some of its energy and its power and gained an extra kilo in weight, whilst the Ferrari has lost 15 kilos compared to Bahrain, 9 kilowatts of power and 8 megajoules of energy. The Cadillac has lost 8 kilos, lost 14 kilowatts, and lost 8 megajoules, whilst the Peugeot has gained 5 megajoules. So the Peugeot is one of the lightest cars. I think the lightest one would be the Cadillac according to this, but it's also the most powerful. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out, especially for a team like Aston with the AMR Valkyrie, because it's an all-new car. They don't tend to sit right in the BoP early on. They tend to sit below where they should be in the pecking order. Anyways, those are my thoughts and feelings. Thank you so much for joining, folks, and I hope to see you again soon for more. Bye for now.